At SlyMedia Productions, we offer live streaming services to companies willing to reach a worldwide audience. We bring you live studio interactive talk shows and interviews.
Well, thank you so much for joining us on this live broadcast.
It is said to note that every day in our local papers there is a case of rape. Are the current penalties not good enough to stop perpetrators from committing crime?
Back then, it was a taboo to speak about this subject. Back then, it was unheard of to hear two people speaking about it openly. Back then, it had so many names. Kuchishona vaiti shura matongo, vamwe vagoti munza musha, vamwe vagoti mukondombera. But as things change, a lot of things changed. This is SlyMedia and we are live streaming on various social media platforms. Thank you very much for joining us. Today we have a first. Why do I say that? This is the first time where we are having a couple that is going to speak openly about their status. Why? We don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. Chamungoita chete kulike a Facebook page yamuri kuona chirongwa chino kuitira kuti pese patinoenda live munobva maona notification, maona chirongwa. Aiwa, kana chinge chichikunakidzai share kuitira kuti vakawanda vagodzidzawo zvinenge zvichibuda muchirongwa. Regai tinzwe kuti zvakamira sei. Mukoma muri makadi
tiripo kana makadiyo
tiripo teteloisi
tiripo makadiyo
tuti inonzi happy Christmas.
Yeah, it is happy Christmas.
Kana Merry Christmas.
Oh, Merry Christmas.
Maybe he wants to Merry Christmas.
Anditi nyaya iri pano ndeyekuti ava ndi baba namai vari kurarama neutachiwana hwe-HIV. Tatiregaika tiuye kuzonzwa kuti vari kuzvifambisa sei. Ndozva kuti iwe neni tine ma-questions akawanda. Tinoziva takatarisa kumashure dzimba dzakawanda dzakaparara nekuda kwokuti mumwe abuda pachena. Vamwewo zvakare vanosvika pakunwa mapiritsi achivigwa mumota, pasi pemubhedha, pamusoro pewardrobe. Asi regai tinzwe vaviri ava, Lois naMurisi, kuti vanozvifambisa sei. Tete Lois, ndinotanga neni. Akatanga kuziva kuti ndave positive ndiani?
Inini ndinitiri positive. This one is not.
Is not.
Yes.
And it,
when we met, he was facilitating a program, and I was there in that program. And he actually forced me to write on this forms. On those application forms that he had. I was not even part of that program.
okay.
And he was also lying to me that he wanted more people, what not. Maybe he's interested already on me. So I wrote the truth on that form.
Okay.
It asked about your status, how did you know, and so on. And I wrote on that status.
Okay.
That was like when?
2011.
Okay. So he took everything down. And then later on he started calling me. I thought, I know that facilitator, you know.
Okay.
And it was my best friend. I don't know how they're related. And when I was hugging that best friend of mine, he also wanted a hug. You know, this guy is normal something. And when he saw that, he came back. Are you really positive? Can you write something like that on a piece of paper? And you didn't know where that thing is going. I said, that's my status. At first, he really did not believe.
Okay. That was 2011. Imi mangamani makure mangani maziva kuti ndo status.
In August 2003.
Okay.
Wasn't positive.
Okay. 11 minus 3.
I've never done this.
Okay. About 2003. How did you get to know that this is your situation?
my late husband, he had developed cryptococcal meningitis. He had TB, and he also developed cryptococcal meningitis. And when you had cryptococcal and what was PCP, it's a chronic pneumonia. Instead of TB, he had PCP. So we thought you got started on TB drugs, but they later discovered that it's not.
Okay.
That's when I just thought we must be positive. I'm a reader. Okay. I read widely.
Yeah.
So we got tested then. And then soon I also discovered that I'm HIV positive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makaenda mese muri 2 kana kuti makaenda 1-1.
Takaenda tested. And for him, takatestwa, it was on Valentine's Day. We were going out for dinner, and but kutakangotestwa kwacho was I'm not sure why everything is like this on me. Okay. And you are healthy, and nothing looks wrong with you. So we went, and we were saying, you know what? If I'm positive, I don't know what will happen. But what about you? If you're positive, what will you do? And I told them I would accept that. That's what would have happened. So we went in, we got tested, Pabukins Hospital. And then our results came, we took each other's results.
Okay.
And I would see that he's positive, and you would see that I'm positive. But he was puzzled. I've never changed, even back then. But you're healthy, nothing's wrong with you. And he just said, from after the counseling, after everything, he says, you know what, I'm dead. Munamachanga. Valentine 14th Feb.
Oh shit.
End of March, Angatofa. He just deteriorated so fast. But this guy was even going to Basa, and then all of a sudden, I tried to go down on Famba, and he was gone. HIV. Whom can I share this with? Then I discovered an organization, the center, where there was the late Linda Francis. It should get everyone who's HIV positive for a support group. Everyone there was positive. It was just a big eye-opener for me.
Okay.
Saka kuti never one vatori positive. Vanotoita so, vanotoshanda vachitokudza their status. For me it was weird. How can these people just go on talking about it as if it's nothing? For me it was a huge thing. But you know what, my kids are very small. What's going to happen? At the same time, yes. So ndovanaenda paipai ndakaona encouragement that lady akati nini ndatoni makore akawanda. She was a white lady. Ndatoni makore akawanda ndozize is she for you? Arikunyatsoreresa here kana kuti ari kutivhara pamwe she just wanted an organization kuti zvinhu zviite kunge izvo, but ari kufamba zviri normal. Then I looked at myself, but I'm also normal. There's nothing wrong with me. And certain ndaonda, and certain ndandibvudzi rinoerera, and certain ndadi. So zvakangodipa that encouragement. I can also live. I can also see my grandchildren. And I think I've been telling you about my grandchildren, how naughty they are. So now I do have grandchildren. So that, yeah, back then it was just hectic.
When your husband, the late, passed away, makanga mongodza dzimwe hama here kana kuti zvakangopera zvakadaro, and zvangodza arwara ndibva mangopera zvakadaro? how did you then kana musina kuudza ndiani makatanga kunoudza and how did they take it?
Isi patakona kunyanya kurwara kutoti munhu ari kutodeteriorata. I told my sister and her husband.
Okay.
And I told my mom. Vakachema kutoita mariro chaiwo. Vakachema kubata godzi kutofa kauko ndokutofa ndokutopera kwechi.
Aba vaitochema vatarisa inini.
Vakatarisa inini kuti Lois is dead. Besides being chirikadzi, vaitoona inini wacho
Watofa.
So for them havana kuzvitambira hazvina kugachirika. Hazvisi zvinhu zvakaita nyore. Even after burial, zvinenge zvichitaurwa, like even my mother-in-law say vamwe vari kutevera futi manje you'd get hurt nemawords anenge achitaurika nevanhu. Even my own brother, he says, you know what, he went and got I don't know what treatment he wanted to have. And then he goes to the clinic. You know what, mukosha wanga akafane inonzi PCP, amene what pneumonians haibatirire. But yeah, it was time iyoyo anenge asingatozivi kuti zvinhu zvandiri kuita achitaura tiri mumba asi kuzoti ari kutobonderesa mumwe munhu kuti pane zviri kutorwadza. And it was also tough kuti unenge wakugara nevanhu, people really do not know whether to share with you their cup, to share with you their meals, to when you even wakapiwa a baby, kunzi feed this baby. Kungodai sosoni kana achiregetai so it was a nightmare then. But kuchiwanza mushonga ya 2005 kuchazotanga kunzwa so 2005 chiti azvisvike here. And my prayer was, you know what, Mwari, ngazvisvike time yekuti ini ndichawanawo mushonga iyoyo. I'm glad kuti time yacho yakasvika. Asanda kuenda pamatablets time yacho iyoyo. My CD4 count was way too high. It was over the 500 yavaiti. After the 300 wakutanga kupinda pamishonga. So pachirongwa. So in 2018 patakazotanga kunwa drug. 2008 then it was a bit better. And then later on we discovered munhu anenge achiti ndiri kuda iwewe. Was my husband, when he passed when I was 28, very young. Munhu uya achiti ari kukuda. Omunzi ati but I'm HIV positive. Omunzi ati mafuta enguruve akazodii akadii njitsi. In a joking way. Then the person discovers you tutora chi mapirisi urikuita sei urukonwa. And you're like, wangochirivesa. And then the relationship just dies. And then someone comes along. Okutanga kubvunza my questions. You asked me so many questions, like I was even bothered. This guy is a bother. Munoza kamuskito. Achimodoramba chikobvunza zvinhu zvakawanda. Saka kana uchimwa mapirisi unozoita sei? Ichichi iye ameno zvanga akanga ari kuverengawo kuti kana munhu achimwa mishonga achidai masoja ake achibhostika achidii anofanira kuzoitwa maviral load achibvunza zveviral load kuti viral load yei kuiwi. What is it that you really want? He's just bothersome. Mishonga yacho wanwa here akakubuya panapa akaspenda time ari panapa ozati tora unomwa nenguva. Is that your concern? But no, ndakunzwa ndoda kuunderstanda kuti unongochita sei. Otondipusha ndonwa mishonga yangu ndopedza iye achiona. Anyway, this guy's just going to go away like what everyone else is doing. But it's been a pill of strength. It's been very worrying, in and out. We don't have any kids. Between us, we have 5 kids.
That is, this is what is there. What was the environment? How did you prepare them? Ndakunovataurira yanga yasvika palevel yepi yekuti hai zvinezvika vana ngavachiziva kuti inini amai ndio condition yandiri.
Kids are made you. You think they don't know?
It's all.
They know.
Yeah.
They know everything.
Yeah.
They notice the small things they think they are not saying.
Yeah.
Yes. Pandakatanga kumwa mishonga, uchingonwa mishonga like every day. Vanga utoti toya ne mishonga yenyu. Usina kumboga uza. And then like my last born, she was it grade 3 or somewhere there. We were doing something else with another organization, and would give children nice things like turkeys, tracksuits and stuff. And she'd be watching. And then says, you know what? I just want to be HIV positive.
Because she was seeing the benefits the HIV positive kids will get.
And I was shocked. Does she really understand what she's talking about?
Yeah.
And then actually to sit down, you know what? HIV, it's something that's in your blood.
Yeah.
They were all young. Even with the boy, they were all young. It's in your blood. How does it get in your blood? Maybe you cut yourself with a razor blade. Maybe you use somebody who's just used a needle. I didn't talk about sex then. They were not in that category. And you can even get it from when I'm pregnant. Oh, is that so? So if I get pregnant, I can give my baby the HIV and they'll discuss.
Yeah.
And they understood then. But as they also grew up, my eldest son started volunteering for another organization with children who are all HIV positive. And he's been a volunteer, a regional volunteer for that organization.
Wow.
And it has made him go, I don't know what to say, miles going to Kure in that organization. He's now out of the country. Achita shimusha akuitao, but punishing shakawandisa shakata uti shakatozo open his eyes. Achienda to that organization. Inongo telane vana chete vari HIV positive.
Wonderful. Vatijambe ku 2011. Tasangana nemukomana muri aruda haki.
Baba inetsera.
It was just
atiri munhu ari defensive. Zvakunzwa kuti friend ndobva friend yake hagi musikana. Iye ndobva toda
Ndikuda hagi.
Ati did you notice kuti
No, to me it was like, this is a total stranger.
Yeah.
And I just looked at you like, are you crazy or something? So the friend went, and then he started coming along. Then he didn't know what's another, and he would lie.
He always find an excuse.
Yeah. And then but in my interest with you. See why? I wanted to know the reason why.
Yeah.
These reasons, I don't even know them up to now.
A chance.
Do you have to know?
So takangoramba tichingoita kanenge kaushamwari, like was anotaurisa is a talker. Shame.
Okay.
So you'd talk, muchitaura nyaya, muchinakidzwa, muchifara, muchidi mishonga yako wazotora nguva kundiperekedza sototora no muchanowana 8. Miri 8 dzitengedze tose dzakwana ndozoita sei, then I can go waitora chi your medication, tora medication toperekedzana munhu oita sei oenda. Akazoti no, I think you're the right person for me. Why? Do you want to share my HIV with me? I told you then tango to Romacity for Shangasa Shita, no more you need to have a road. City for county acquisition, Katoro, but now won't put the envelope. It was 1,000. many just what the contest just you will don't put in HIV you go tell me some sort of this gay for real. But tell to note that relationship is been there. You have to remember it's ongoing.
Did you ask him? You've seen the paper that I made in HIV positive.
Yeah, I did ask.
That's in the negative.
That's going to be to test COVID. We are let you answer.
When you knew about his status, it is negative. Looking back at the previous men that have been approaching you over there, this is what is there, then they disappear. What kind of a picture did you give Maurice? In a time frame which maybe sooner or later it's going to go.
Yeah, those things are not because even if we do have a relationship, it's no more. Somehow, then it will just die natural death. Who told you that? Who told you that it's going to die natural death? How do you know? Uri mwari. They was like, okay, I get it, but I won't. So yeah.
Maurice, Debari is I want to do a room is doing it. Do a butter in your car. I did what? He can cut again. But I just want you to tell us. You know, you saw a paper from Lois Ajifila, you know, Vanilla status HIV positive.
Yes.
Then you developed an interest. Take us through to 2011. She what happened then, Papa? Despite what is there, I want this one.
And enough to develop an interest in the one day.
Yeah.
The company paper because in another development. Those are two different things. Right, I was facilitating with the women for another organization, and the friend was my co-facilitator.
Okay.
Then she was talking to my friend. Then I said, "Oh, that's a beautiful woman. I want to go for her." That's me. But how then do I get as much information about her before I approach?
Oh,
you have to be tactical.
Yeah, yeah.
So there was a participant form. The form the participants were supposed to fill in. So I went to her and said, "Yo, look, there's a form here I want you to fill in so that my participant numbers can come up to the number I'm looking at. Yeah. I'm short of participants." Then I gave her the list. I wasn't interested in anything else. There were details I was looking at.
Phone number,
there was a phone number, there was marital status. There was that is what I was looking at. The phone number and the marital status. Yeah. But also on that form, there was something on the ailments. Are you HIV positive? What else do you suffer from?
Okay.
So she ticked the yes box.
Okay.
Then I also suffer from asthma. But I already have interest in this lady. Then it becomes a dilemma to do or not to. Not to do. I won't lie to you. It's not easy.
Yes.
It's not easy. You really need something there. But they are in between their thorns. But what then can I do? Remember, this is 2011. Things were not as is now. The stigma was not. It's not died as like it has died right now.
Yeah.
People were still negative about being positive.
Yeah.
But I needed the lady. Then I didn't make I didn't say, well, she's positive, then I'm going for it. But I said I need that lady, and she's negative. My wife is light, but she did not pass away from HIV.
Okay.
So I was saying, she also wrote, she's a widow. And I'm a widow. So the boxes were ticking. There were more positive boxes than negative boxes. Now you have to do the maths.
Yeah.
It's out of 100 and it's 98 out of 100. Everything else, she's asthmatic. And my mother also is asthmatic, and I know the experience of asthma. But now she's HIV positive, and I am negative. This is a week. This happened. Then we went away for 2 weeks, and in the 2 weeks I'm stewing. There's that lady in Guaza, and she's positive, and I really like her, and I want to go for her. What should I do? Then you already, I like her. That's one thing we have in common. We are readers. Okay. We read. Yeah. Like myself, I read everything. From your shirt's label to everything. I knew a thing or two about HIV. Then in the 2 weeks I researched.
Okay.
What's the dangers? What's the...
Google
she doesn't know. She doesn't know that she's under satellite surveillance. I researched. Then the next week, that is when she's talking of the hug. We came next week for the other program. Then I say, no, lady, give me a hug. And I've made my decision now. From what I've learned, the stigma in me has died. I think I can take it. But it wasn't easy. I think I can take it. I think I can live with her. I can live with it that she's positive. That is when I asked her for a hug. And she's still refusing to be hugged. You know, the interest in me had already grown, and I'd already made my decision.
Obviously, your friends or someone that you confide to. Shaman. Ndaona baby, but baby rich positive, meaning negative. But come on to me, you respond yakati chiku pakuni munhu iyeyo makataura.
It wasn't easy. I remember that friend of mine is now late, but we discussed the issue late in the night. Late into the night, like
we can discuss it again.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
This can't be. Can't you find someone else who is? No, I know what I need. I know what I'm looking at. I know what I want in that lady. We are almost at the same age. She's 2 years my junior, and we discussed. And my advantage was my friend. We didn't have as much information about HIV like I do. I've got more. I had more information, and he was highlighting my points. Some of them were quite good. They helped me. You know, you have a challenge if you want to have kids.
Yeah.
Because you have to. Have you decided to have protected sex for the rest of your life? No, I don't mind. I can take that one. If you can get it, but it wasn't easy.
Yeah.
Then you would say, okay, I think you are making a mistake. Would you talk about it again? Then we talk about it again. Then we talk about it again until you know. So sometimes when we talk things over. And when you see the people you are talking about, our attitudes change. It wasn't easy, but right now I think it's normal.
Yeah, it's normal. I don't want to tell you about three panapa. HIV. You know that Kumbale HIV.
The other thing, the other advantage I had. In the organization I was working with women. Most of the women were positive, and some of the facilitators were positive. So it also helped. I spent a lot of time with those people, and it was part of the.
And who am do kunonetsa kutambonzo experience yaloisa right to taura amen. Sometimes people would plan even your funeral. How did your relatives accept it? This is what he said. inini muri kuna ndakadai so mukadzi wangu ari HIV positive but ndikumu.
Yeah, that's that one. A lot of them are not well, still skeptical. You see, it's something which they cannot accept.
Sure.
It's either I'm lying, that I'm negative. We are both positive, but it's an head of.
Yeah.
How can you say he's negative when she is positive?
Yeah.
Yet
Husband and wife.
We're husband and wife, we're a couple.
Yeah.
You get the point.
Yeah.
But there are people who will say you are not like your parents.
Yeah.
You go to your parents, you sit down, you talk to them. You tell them this is the scenario. That's the difficult part. The parents now, my father is now late. He died in 2013. I was. What word can I use? I'm running away from skeptical. I'm running away from. He was negative in the beginning, but as we talk. Yeah, he was negative, but he was not that negative.
Okay.
You would say, hey, that's strange. You know those
Very strange.
That's very strange. Then I would point out he was living commercially. Then I would point out, look, here in the village, how many people are living positive? Sekuru nengi. So you know, he goes to the Arawa clinic. She can say, he's drugs. There's nothing. This is just an illness like you.
Yeah.
Imemudara mune BP chembera vana saka ukuramba here because you want to kutengera like with my father we could talk.
Yeah.
We could share. Then we discussed, and the more you talk, the more they accept they set up the scenario. But to them, sometimes you see when they are talking, you see something you could not tell.
Yeah.
But you know that's part of the scenario.
Lois, how has been the journey from the day that you so man? So what is how it has been like for you?
It's not true. It's not for real.
Plus love not interested in sorrow.
Yeah, punishing me she a bit difficult to see. But one also, yeah, like most of the time is at the farm and stuff. Afusha Tine. As it doesn't be this guy. For you. Taguja Black Jake. I'm going to the healthy. You don't go to a junkie or go to my chips, what to
Manager,
out of order. So, but he does care for me.
Yeah.
In Dakarwara, Dakaruta, Varume Vashomana Chikoroba. Kutirege, on to the Chaporoba, Canada, and Washington, not that you know, you rest. Anukoroba, Anu Urugono Giza, and the Dukutazi, Lubatra Giza. And you're like, this is person for real. One of Shomoguti Wakarwara no Funduka. Men were not dirty. What chichi, Kurwaza, Chambo Scapabora, and look at it, look at a manji. One of younger. I told but I say, I changed. But it's just different.
God given.
God given.
That is,
Yeah.
Marries, do you own a Lois?
Yes.
Kugana Lois. Kwakaoma singa kwakachipa sei. Life yetu yakamira sei. Kuti unombobuda ukadza munozati ari HIV. Uri mukombiza kwamuzimu kuti ukadza munozati ari HIV. Pamwe nyaya yacho inogona kungotanga vanhu unoziva kuti mukombi kamema tinokwiro. Ikotanga nyaya HIV. Yeah. How has been it like for you?
It has been a relationship, a marriage.
Yeah.
And when we say it's a marriage, you know, every marriage has its challenges.
Yes.
So when you go into a marriage, you take the challenges as they come. She has a condition which needs management.
Yeah.
So who manages it? The couple manages. So it's here and me who manages there. The condition is she eating well? Is she resting well? Is she not overworking? Is she this, that, do's and don'ts? We manage together. Sometimes she goes off limits. I say, no, dear, you're positive. You, of course, I won't use that word. But I say, no, you don't have to be doing that. Instead of bringing a lot of nyama, you bring a lot of blackjack.
budget is as a budget is, I think everything will be fine. Yeah. Because you can watch budget or blackjack instead of meat. Or budget or beans
instead of sausage.
Yes, instead of a sausage or something.
No, not that we don't partake those.
Yeah.
If you get my point.
Yes,
but we encourage you to live healthy, to eat healthy. Then, but she can't eat healthy when I'm not eating healthy. I won't say blackjack is for you and sausage for me. That would be awkward. That would be awkward. We eat the blackjack together. We share the blackjack together. When she I know you know now she's positive. She's asthmatic. Simply means she's not well.
Yeah.
So you have to manage those illnesses. You have to be there for her. But what is a relationship if you're not there for your partner? So I'm there for her. So you see, sometimes I'm even there for her when she's not there.
You want to go to
yeah, like no, you were referring like you are in a bus, and people start talking about people who are HIV positive or. You should be stigma still out there.
Yeah,
you find yourself defending those people. You find yourself defending the despondents couples. You subconsciously.
Yeah.
You just enter into a conversation and you are already defending your partner who is not there. So it's like that. It has been a journey. Very interesting.
Right now.
Yes.
And wakawanda wacho. Let's not look at men like you, even very HIV positive. We have also come out open couples. What can you tell them?
That's the worst case of ignorance I can think of. The HIV is just a condition. Like BP, like everything else. If you're a couple, why not share with your partner? Why not tell it? You have to come up into the open. Maybe because again, I can't imagine being a couple, someone taking drugs, and the other partner doesn't. The spouse is unaware. What I can actually say is those people really need help. The counseling, they need to research more on the condition and how do they relate to their spouses, because one, you're endangering your spouse. You're positive and your spouse is not aware, and you are taking drugs and your spouse is not taking drugs, which means the strain is more on the spouse, because the strain is being suppressed by the drug. But his strain is not being suppressed by the drug because she's not taking any drugs. And you are not having protected sex, which means you are reinfecting her. That's not very good. I think we should think positively. What can we do as a couple to overcome this? It's a challenge. You just come to your family, you find yourself you are positive. A lot of things will happen if you tell your spouse you're positive. A lot of things. She may even decide to leave you. But I think a truth which hurts is better than a lie which comforts. I think people should just come out. If you don't want to come out to the public, at least come out to your spouse. She's your life partner. Yeah, but if you were tactical enough
Yeah.
to bring it home,
You can also be tactical enough to introduce a condom.
to introduce a condom. I think we just have to be men enough.
Yeah.
We just have to be men enough and accept reality. We didn't grow up knowing masks. But we now it's the norm. When something becomes the norm, it becomes the norm.
Yeah.
You don't have to think about it. It just becomes the normal. You do it even in your subconscious. So I think that's a level where you have to reach, even in this illness. You have to come to a norm where you say, this is my relationship, and the norm is protected.
And yes. Kune vakadziwo pane time yavanoti kazhinji kana ane pamuviri vanhu vati ndanonyoresa ubvati test bona ndomamirira adakaita then zvikuvaremera oudza murume aipoza anga aitoziva varume vandochiisa ibvi pasina kana imwe nyaya kungodzi vapinda pamwe vapedzera kutoti rega ndikutora hanguti matablets ochi ndakanyarara. How best can you advise those women and how best can they approach their spouses? Baba ndafunga kuti tinotestwa tese even kama vasada disclose kuti this is my condition.
I think for couples usati watoenda kwacho kuclinic kwacho muconvince kuti muende mese munokwanisa kunoteswa because pamunoteswa paipai pane zvinotaurika zvinogona kupinda nekuzvibona nekoko but pane zvinopinda makateswa mese makadiscover mese kuti it's either mese muri positive kana kuti one wenyu ari positive the other is not matoni way forward muri ipapo and pamwe pacho those counselors vanokubvunzai so what happens if one of you is positive and the other is not. Vakadzi most of the time we die for our partners. Loti ndoramba ndine deny. Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Now I know.
Because for men, akangodiscover kuti mukadzi ndiye ari positive. It's difficult kuti ati ini nangu ndaita sei ndakuramba ndine mudzimai kuti tigozoita vamwe vana tigozoita sei. I think it's tough. It's really tough because munhu kuti anyatso accepta kuti this is patashika pe-HIV zvinonetsa, but I think kungotaurirana kwakanaka pane kuti musi munozoendawo murume ari wega wokudiscover uri paline mosvika munotanga kuita hondo paclinic. I don't think that's a good picture. I don't think so.
Rega timboverenga mamessages panapa. Hanzi Emmanuel Mudzi hanzi ID ndofunga kuti ndikurewa. Rega narumbidzai Mutaviri, can I have phone number dzevanhu ava? I think kana makasununguka tinogona kuvapa kana panapa kana kutogona kuzovaisira kuinbox kwake. Then
let's hope DA was not DA.
Ndafungai ngwenya ndadzidza zvakawanda ndinotenda nedzidziso muve nekisimusi yakanaka. Zvakanzi nasipo kushe moyo nomakava. I love you both. Did both Robert and Maurice both here?
I think both Coco.
Is it possible for you to have babies?
Yeah, it is possible for us to have babies, but isusu takaverenge kuti turakuita mwana
kusvikira vana vaita vana
hakunetsa kuti abuya vanotenga mapampa
kutenga mwana. It's actually possible to have babies
because inini like now my viral load is for the past I don't know where he is. Inenge iri test not detected. Mubhuku rangu rengi chinzi TND. Kureva kuti the virus haisikuita sei haisikuwanika. Hazvirevo kuti mazoi kana ambopinda mukapa hamo achirimo even wakaisa mvura. That's so it is very possible to have a baby. But now
a healthy baby and a negative baby.
And a negative baby as well.
Andiriya. Ngoma muri mashoko enyu ekupedzisira nevanhu vakateerera kuzara nhasi.
Ekupedzisira ndakufa. No, the point is, I want to address the men out there.
Yes.
I think we have to be real and accept this as normal, and we have to come up into the open. Talk about it, share about it, talk to our children about it. Let's go again and get tested. A lot of people, they don't want to be tested, and I think that should belong to the 90s. You know, in the 90s, getting tested was a death sentence.
Yeah.
But right now, we are here, and everybody's here, and the stigma is almost died. So, men out there, please go and get tested, and please talk to your spouses about these things. You talk to them, go and get tested together with your spouse. I think that is all I would like to say. And it's not an issue. It's not a divorce certificate that one of you is positive or and you are not.
But if you are given a chance to say something sweet to Lois Pavan, what are you going to say? Lois, your last words to the viewers that are watching the program right now.
To those who are watching the program and to those who want to have babies, go and talk to your health practitioners. Get the best advice for you to have a child. And for those who are thinking of going to get tested, go and get tested. Uchikwanisa kufamba wega nemakumba ako ungonotestwa pa mushonga wako hapana notombozviziva kuti uri positive ozvimwira uriwo nemurume wako muri pai mukati memba yenyu. Nobody will know that. Mworamba muchingoita vana venyu zvichingoendeka. So I think ndozvinhu zvingantobatsira mumwe munhu ari out there.
Tichazobvara uchirudza primary pane zuva ranonzi nyora rondedzero yezuva rausingafe wakakangana. Ndoya ndichazodzoka ndichiuza zuva randisingafe ndakakanganwa nderii. Mukoma murisi tadzo.
Inini handisi murungu. Handiti varungu manje, they say you are my sweet apple, my sweet banana, what, my chocolate. Since we are Africans, you are my orikoflo, you are my damba, my janje, my uyu rakaurungana.
Then many jokes that Murisi, you may kiss the bride.
You have to do it the Zimbabwean way, you see.
Zuva rasingafe ndakakangana Lois. Aina kuti akawandisa but tongoda one ringokuti vateereri vanosarana vachiti chikotaura kana musi wehagi.
Not musi wehagi. There was a time I called. He was in Marondera. I'm not well. Akati chiri kunetsa. I tried to explain. I can't cook. I can't do this. I say jinguri, and then within 2 hours, hona mona ashika. Atopana pa akuto cleaner ndia akutosuka maplate akazara sink akudi indrukurutsa zvimwe ndikurutsira pasi hazviri kupinda mubhaket akucleaner akuita sei. And then I discovered, you know what, this man is a keeper. So yeah, I don't think I'll forget that.
Yeah, that's fine. This is it. I hope you have learned one or two. The purpose of the program is to educate and inform in such an environment sekutaura kwatambira kuti pekutanga zvakanga zvisingaitiki not waste iri live daita tombotanga tarekodha tozoenda murisi ozofona chidai paipa ndataura zvakati bvisa yako mana ndazofunga but aiwa tinoda kutenda Marries and Lois nekuti panguva yakadai so nekusheya tatodza vamwe kutodaiwa ndikudawo nhamba hapana chinonetsa nhamba tichakupai even kuma-inbox nditoda nhamba tinokupai kuti muchida kudzidzawo zvakawanda after this tozati wakawanda munosara mane mibvunzo yakawanda yekuti zvino apa but Lois and Marries they are open zvoona a happy couple as well. And what is left is for me to say on behalf of SlyMedia, we say Merry Christmas.
At SlyMedia Productions, we offer live streaming services to companies willing to reach a worldwide audience. We bring you live studio interactive talk shows and interviews.
Well, thank you so much for joining us on this live broadcast.
It is said to note that every day in our local papers there is a case of rape. Are the current penalties not good enough to stop perpetrators from committing crime?
But as we close, I've also seen or read in the newspapers that there are some people who are leaving your party. Why?
We live stream news press conferences as it happens.
We always last longer because we are revolutionaries, we are guerrillas. And today